Hey folks, T here with the good old boys. Remember, hit subscribe for us down over here on the side and make a couple of old dudes feel good about themselves, especially during this Corona 2020 deal. Any little ego boost would be appreciated. Alrighty, instead of y'all just watching me rant on about getting back into blading, I am going to show my warm-up session in the beginning just to give an example of what can happen after a little bit of time. So what I'm standing next to right now is this fat black rail at my local park. I think it's about 3 inches wide, so she's a big round one. Got the feet on the front end and the back end, just under knee high. A little bit nerve-wracking in the beginning. It probably took me a couple of trips out to the park just to be able to do front sides across it. So showing you my first 20 minutes, half-hour warm-up session, which continues to suck no matter how much you get back into blading. That warm-up period is real. But in terms of what I can do in the first few minutes now versus not being able to do this rail at all in the beginning for the first couple of weeks is just an example of what can happen. So let's check it out. All right, so on to the blading. Alrighty, so it's 20 years later, you're getting back into blading. What to expect? First off, you're gonna be very excited once you order your skates. You get them in, you put them on, you're rolling around in the living room, you think it's gonna be a blast. Then you strap that second skate on, you get to the park, and you roll over some asphalt or some rough concrete. That feels very hard all of a sudden, and you know what it's gonna be like when you fall. So the main thing is, when you get out there, give it some time. It's been a while since you've done it. You're quite a bit older since you've done it, so respect that. I'm coming in not doing it for 20 years. I did it from age, say 11, 12 to 17, something like that. So I've not done it longer than I was alive before I even started blading. So some of you in the same wheelhouse, respect that fact that it's been a while, so don't expect to go out there and be doing true spin mocks all of a sudden in the first 10 or 15 minutes. The first 10 or 15 minutes, you should just spend your time out there skating around, getting the feel back for it. It's going to take a minute, but check yourself every 15 minutes, every half hour. Once you get past that hour point, you'll be doing little soul grinds on curves before you know it. So just give yourself time. Try not to go that new age American route where we all want to be awesome at something right away. These days with skate parks being abundant, you don't have to worry about going out, finding somewhere like some real street ledge to go do, or you haven't bladed in 10 years, so you just put the skates on and you're like, well, let's go hit this handrail. You actually have skate parks that are quite abundant and in multiple cities all around the country, and there is a lot of uniqueness. You can go from a rough DIY park, kind of where I am now, to some nice Tony Hawk foundation, $500,000 build, concrete plaza that's just smooth and beautiful. So skate parks galore. You don't have to be regulated to the streets anymore. And also, as to the skate parks, what to expect out there, it is an entirely different vibe than what you might have once had back in the 90s or the early aughts. Going out, it is 2020. Everybody's very open-minded and super woke these days, so the idea of going out to the skate park and somebody's hating on you for being a blader, those chances are slim to none. Most likely it's more us carrying around that weight than anybody else is doing these days. And frankly, all the young kids that I run into that are, under the age of 25, they think the blading is awesome because they've never seen it before. Alright, so some quick tips I can give you for getting back into it. Again, just get out there, skate around, get your natural skating ability down before you want to go out there and start doing your, I used to be able to do a bio 540 no problem, and then you're trying to spin that in the first half hour. Just skate, go backwards, go sideways, cross over, get your basics back. Same thing with your grinds, get your basics back, feel comfortable on them. Another tip, one in which you some might not agree with, it would be start out skating flat. Even if you used to skate anti-rocker, skating flat is going to give you a much better feel for actually riding the blades and cruising around to where you're going to get your legs back under you a lot sooner than you are your grinds. And then you can always take your 2 middle wheels out, get some anti-rockers, go no wheels, whatever. You can always switch over to anti-rocker a lot easier than you can switch to flat from anti if you just went out on your first purchase and bought anti-rocker skates. Now you're in a situation where you have to order wheels, wait for them to show up. If you want to go anti from flat, just pop the 2 out and you're good to go. So skate flat. Like I said, you might not agree with it at first, but in the general idea of getting your blading skills, your legs back and all that, it would be my recommend. Also, another tip, just wear the pads, man. You know, wear whatever you're comfortable with. I myself am rocking the shin guards, at least 1 wrist guard in the helmet these days. If I'm going for big jumps, I will put the knee pads on or elbow pads on if it's really fast, and that's how I'm measuring it. But the shin guards, I can't imagine doing it without those. And my shin guards are just volleyball knee pads that I wear around my shins, so they're soft. I forget about them within 5 minutes. I've broken this wrist twice, you know, back in the day, so that's prudent. I do blue collar work now. I can't go with a broken wrist for a month and a half and not work, so I'm gonna wear that. Same thing with the helmet. You can fix everything else on you is gonna heal, but that brain will not. And in the long run, it's a plastic hat. And also, nobody's knocking my door for sponsorships. I'm 37 years old, getting back into blading. Like, this isn't gonna happen, right? So if you're out there skating for yourself, skate for yourself in a smart way and protect that thing that makes you you. Tips for buying gear. So kind of on my tip of skating flat, I would say if you're purchasing new skates, look for something in a flat setup that's easily convertible to anti-rocker if you think that's the route you're going to go. And then also, I didn't know this about these days, there's a thing called UFS now, Universal Frame System. So akin to snowboarding, you don't have to buy a whole complete skate anymore. Like right now, these are them 908 boots, Kaiser Element 2 frames, 2 types of wheels, and a Burton snowboard boot liner inside. It used to be you bought a Salomon skate, it was one big old thing and that's it. So these days, in terms of gear advice I could give you, really go to Oak City Skate Shop, go to Thorough Skate Shop, you know, make sure you support your actual blader shops that are out there. And then dork out on it for a little while. Look for a boot that you like, or maybe there's a boot on sale. Company Basement has the Majestic 12 boot for 70 bucks. You can go buy that boot, buy a set of $40 frames. You might have old wheels sitting around and bearings, you're already up on that. You buy custom wheels that you want to, you've made your custom skate. So really dork out on it these days. Look at all the gear before you just go, all right, well, this is less than 200 bucks, I'll buy this one. You can really piece together something that's custom and fun for you. Okay, so I cut a bit out probably, but that was 10 minutes exactly. And some of those I'm okay with, but it still feels iffy as hell first 10 minutes of skating. So keep the confidence up, man. That's all y'all gotta do. Keep practicing. You'll be out there doing some stuff.